Okay, hello. Welcome to your LDM. This is the second game of the evening. This is the second game of Hunter's Vigil of the evening. This is part two. Different group. This is going to be taking place about a day or two after the events of the last game. Um, so I'll just get my players to introduce themselves, plug their channels, and briefly introduce their characters. Briefly. So we'll start on the right here with Nelson, please.
Yes, of course you have to start with me. My name is Nelson. I have a YouTube channel, Facebook group, and drive-through RPG thing, all under Infinite Roleplay. I do stuff. Check it out. I'm playing a guy named Smythe. Can't get more brief than that.
That's brief. Good man. Whitey?
Hey guys, Wendy here. Okay, no channel, and this evening I will be playing a guy called Wilson. Good with his fists. Put him up.
Perfect. Heath?
Salutations. I'll be playing Professor Yuri von Ultrel, who's an alchemy and chemistry major. He's gotten this far with just his mental acuity. Quite looks down on the riffraff, the physical folk, but sometimes they have their uses.
Perfect. Troy?
Yeah, hello, my name is Troy Spencer. I have a channel called DMT Tabletop Gaming. Tonight I'll be playing Ostrimer Smite. He's a ex-military officer from one of the neighboring nations. He came home from a campaign, found his wife and children dead from some type of bubonic plague, and as such went on a murdering spree across his nation and has now fled into where we find ourselves this evening. He's a martial, which is one of the fighter archetypes that were homebrewed by someone, and I'm grateful for it.
Okay, perfect. And Dante?
Hey everyone, I'm Dante from Craft Wonders Adventures. You can find me on YouTube. I also have Facebook, Twitter. I have all the social media. And I'll be playing Denisaw.
Okay, cool. So, you guys are in Vladgravia. Vladgravia is a shithole. It's the world is moving forwards in terms of technology. Steam technology is everywhere, except for Vladgravia, of course. They have a way of sticking to the old ways, and they like it that way. It's a place of anachronisms, with the southern half of the country being much more forward-thinking than the north, and you, of course, are as far north as it gets. You are at Hunter's Vigil, which is on the edge of an enormous forest called the Ivichwald, which is a forest that stretches for hundreds of miles northwards. After the first group arrived at Hunter's Vigil, people started to flood in from your guild. You are all part of a huntsman's guild. Realistically, for the last maybe 50 years or so, it's actually just been a mercenary guild. You used to hunt monsters, aren't any monsters anymore, so now you're just thugs for hire. And you've been sent to get this castle, which you have done. So you're currently here. You're the most senior people here at the moment. Most of the others are out ranging, scouting, kind of getting a lay of the land. And there's a couple of others, kind of young page boys, apprentices, stuff like that. So you're in this enormous castle. It's ancient and most of all drafty. It's cold as hell, and there's tapestries that are rotten and moldy all over the place. You've set up, mostly all of you, in the Great Hall, where you all kind of camp for warmth and for safety. The place is very, very creepy. There's a sort of palpable sense of unease and dread. The people in the village below won't approach the castle at all, partly due to their reputation, and partly due to the fact that you've allowed a creation to live with you. The group that had just arrived a few days ago, when they got here, they met a scientist and his creation, a sort of automaton that he had breathed life into. The villagers were none too happy about it. They had cornered him, were attempting to destroy the creature, and then the group came and rescued the creature, which they named Percy. So it is a very, very large, sort of 12-foot tall, sewn together bits of skin. Anyway, it's very helpful in the guild. It's been doing a lot of repair work for you, and it's been very polite so far. So It's evening. You're having a meal, all of you, enjoying it, I hope. You're looking at not so great. You got some stew. You got some hard bread, hard cheese. All the stuff that's meant to be soft is hard. All the stuff that's meant to be hard is soft. So all the food's kind of not great, but you're managing. And it's then some people come in from the village, which is highly irregular. They knock on the enormous doors of the Great Hall, and are led in by one of the page boys. And they come up to you guys, since you're the ranking people at the moment. It's two men and a woman, and the woman is in hysterics, seems to be crying, and one of the men says to you, "Hi, sorry to disturb you." And you can see he's very uneasy about being in here, and he says, "Some people have gone missing." And I would like your help with that.
Oh dear.
Who are these people and why should we care?
Well, you seem to be in command here. They're from the village below.
Well, if we're gonna find them, we need more details than just people.
Oh, yes, of course. 6 of them. 2 boys, a girl, 2 men, and an old woman.
And did they all disappear at the same time, or what?
Oh, yeah. This morning, they were all gone. We assumed that they would come back at some stage during the day. People often will go into the forest and have a look around or wander, but they haven't returned, and it's getting dark, and no one stays out after it's dark.
Well, boys,
I still don't know why we should care.
Because the people would be grateful, and you live here now, and we provide your food.
Is that what you call this slop? Food?
Well, it's better than nothing.
That's what I was going to say, yes.
That is debatable indeed. Nothing is appetizing.
I've been led to believe that you are here to help us, to protect us from whatever dwells in the forest, and to bring this place back up to a nice sort of reputation. If that's not the case, then I don't know what you're doing here.
Well, do tell. What would lead you to believe such a foolish thing? Who told you this?
Other members of your guild told me this.
Other members of the guild, and I look around. Is there any other members other than us?
Right now? No.
Interesting. Have you spoke to this man? And I look at Wilson.
Have I spoken to him what?
Have you led him to believe that we are here to help his village prosper?
Not personally, but I guess that's why we're here.
Is it? Is it really why we're here? How about you, Ostermer? Have you led this man to believe we are here to aid him?
I haven't spoken to any of these villagers. This is the first I've seen of them. I've arrived just today. My business is my own. Going out in the woods and finding 2 boys, a girl, 2 men, and an old lady. Don't know how that would benefit me this evening.
Yes, quite.
Maybe in the morning.
If you wait till morning, the forest is dangerous.
Well, if it's dangerous, then do tell why are you people venturing into it?
We have to eat, we have to hunt, we have to get firewood, we have to, I mean, that's what it's for.
Well, you seem able-bodied. What is preventing you from finding them?
You are a guild of hunters. Your job is to hunt things, to track things. That's what I've been led to believe.
Yes, well, I'm not sure who's been leading you to believe this, good sir, but
Members of your guild who arrived here not 2 days ago.
I know these people of which you speak.
Highly irregular. So you won't help?
I didn't say that. I'm simply calling you a liar.
He's just fooling with you. Wilson stands up, puts his bowl down. That's a stretch. Let's do this thing.
The man is
Very well.
clearly offended that you called him a liar, but also realizes that there's no possible way he'll beat all of you in a fight, so he just
Well,
chooses
look,
tongue a little bit.
look. I understand. I don't want like false pretense and okay. Just one question. Now you said that there were girls lost in the wood. Would they happen to be a flower in age?
He kind of leans back a little bit. No. Little
Well,
girls.
I suppose you have your answer there, my friend. It's been a pleasure doing business to you. And he just goes back gnawing on whatever hard piece of food he's been gnawing on.
The man is just shocked at this situation.
I'd take a moment and just kind of look at everybody else who's kind of going back to their business, especially Smithy here, and turn back to the man. Just, well, if you can promise me a good hunt, I'm for it.
I'm sure it'll be that. The forest is dark, filled with animals.
Well, we'll need to investigate their homes.
Of course, yeah.
What? So these people just wandered out into the woods?
So it seems. This morning they were all gone.
As a group, or don't you know? Were they living together or from different houses?
From different houses.
Have you considered erecting a fence?
We have a fence.
Not a very good one.
However, I mean, it wouldn't be much of a fence if you couldn't get out either. There has to be a gate, otherwise. You're supposed to be adventurers, mercenaries, hunters. Are you finding this hard to understand? People are missing, and we need your help.
Well, excuse me, sir, but I'm having trouble hunting on this table to find something quite edible that I can eat with some edibleness. And I can't. What?
Okay, well, how about this? If you find these people, we will provide you the best food that we have.
The best food that you have. Surely that will be something to see. Yes, well, I believe I've heard quite enough from you, you fop doodle. We will retrieve your missing persons, and I expect a right proper meal upon our return. None of this slop, this dribble that you have been feeding us.
Here, Professor, here. Yes, I can't stand this stuff.
Yeah, we'll get right to it.
Yes. Well,
he hocks a big loogie on the ground.
ugh, an unsightly Nash Gab he is.
Is that a local custom? Oh, damn.
I believe he wants you to retaliate in kind, Ridley.
You're a strange collection of people.
Well, we're in a strange place, and perhaps you should insert the word mercenary instead of hunters.
And what is your name, good sir? And why does he speak for his people? He might become useful down the road.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm as close to a mayor as we have here.
Yes. And your name? What is it? Spit it out. You know you can spit out your name, boy.
Boy. Baltimore is my name.
Baltimore. Alright, you see Ostermer stands up from his seated position, and he's standing about 6'4". He's really, really slender, skinny, one would say. His face is drawn and sunken. His eyes are dark, as if he didn't sleep. He walks around, circling this Baltimore a few times, and in his hand he has this hard prod, looks like a cattle or a horse whip of some sort. I'm just circling around him, hitting it in my leathered hand.
Yeah, he's kind of initially he kind of follows you as you walk, and then he just gives up on that and looks straight ahead again. Time is of the essence here. They've been gone all day. It seems we had thought they would return, but it's getting dark.
Well, if time is of the essence, why are you wasting ours, you mumble crust? Let us be on our way.
Well, I'm trying to encourage you to be on your way.
Yes, encouraging us, mayor the likes from which the world has never seen, with the tact of a goat.
You're all hot, Yuri.
Yes, well, I'm going to stand up, slowly stroke the spire in the middle of my beard. I suppose it's best we help this man, since he seems incapable of helping himself, and perhaps our next meal will not have the texture of a sponge.
I was enjoying it.
Yes, well, you can have mine, Wilson.
Thanks. Okay, I grab my coat and my hat. Do we have a lantern, or are we going out there lightless?
Yeah, you guys have plenty of, like, in terms of lanterns and stuff like that, you have lots.
Of course we have a lantern, Wilson. What do you think we are, savages?
Any kind of mundane equipment that you need, you have pretty much.
I'm gonna turn to the mayor and just be like, take me to their houses.
Yeah, of course, follow me.
And I'm just going out in the dark, don't not reaching for it or anything.
So you'll walk.
Wait, that's a good idea. I'm coming. Wait, I got it. Let me just get this. Damn it.
I'll wait to be last in line, by the way, and like pull out my handkerchief and kind of hold it over my nose.
So he'll walk you outside, and you'll walk down this very jagged sort of windy path that leads kind of steeply down from the castle itself into the village. The village itself has one stone building, which is the town hall, and the rest is all kind of wooden logs. Everything's made of wood because it's right next to the forest, I guess. And you can see people are kind of finishing up whatever they're doing outside. Most people are inside already. You can see fires burning, chimney smoke, stuff like that. And he brings you to the first house. There's a woman inside. She's clearly distraught with her husband. And you can see 3 other kids running around. The guy brings you in and he says, yes, one of the boys left from this place.
Alright, I'm just going to walk into the house. I'm not going to question the family. I'm just going to start looking for any kind of, you know... the parents are here. There are 2 of the kids. I'm going to start looking for kind of anything that I can find for another small child, because I heard there was another small child. So like tracks or anything like that that I can find that I can make sense of.
Okay, sure. Investigation or survival, whichever.
Natural 20.
Okay. Which is it, investigation or survival?
Investigation.
Okay. Yeah, so you're looking around. In the house itself, it's kind of there's a wooden floor and stuff, so it's very hard to see anything. But if you look outside, you can see just tracks, very normal tracks leading. I mean, it's all a jumble outside immediately, but you can kind of see one pair of tracks leading away towards the edge of the town in the direction of the forest. And there's no sign of a struggle or anything. It looks like the person just walked out. You can see the little person's tracks. Yeah, no sign of a struggle at all, which is noticeably odd.
So, noticing this, I kind of look at the rest of the group, and it seems this child went on his own volition. There was no fight to it.
So children's play in the woods here.
Yes, perhaps he will return. Case solved. Meal, please.
We strongly discourage the children from playing in the woods, and most of them are very frightened of going into the woods, as well they should be.
Okay, take us to the other boy's house then. Maybe these kids were mates.
Dante, as you look at the tracks and you follow them a little bit, you can see that another set of tracks come from another house, and basically they end up walking right next to each other. And you can see that there are tracks, basically 6 people's tracks walking in a straight line, as if they're walking right side by side, because you rolled so well. You can see that they're all just basically, they got to a certain point and they met, and they all walked forward from there.
I can tell you already that they left as a group.
Hmm.
So is that prearranged, or they've all been...
Yes, Mayor. Baldevog, these individuals that are missing, is there anything that ties them together? Are they just villagers, all different backgrounds, and no reason to go in the woods together?
Not that I'm aware of, no. It's highly unusual to me.
Yes, it's a weird mixture of people to go strolling in the woods, I agree.
The men who were gone weren't friends, the children?
Yes. Has it happened before? Is there any history of this in your... He looks around town.
No. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, not since I've been here, and I've been here my whole life.
Yes, it was a font of inspiration, Mayor.
And in these woods, what takes place in there? Lumber, hunting of game, you said. Is there anything else? Is there anything else we should know? Druidic circles or odd occult groups that gather in the woods in the bub of the night?
I don't believe so. We're decent, God-fearing people here.
Yes, God-fearing, yes.
We create a lot of lumber. We do a lot of hunting.
Well, if you do a lot of hunting, perhaps you can tell us more as to what is in the woods. Surely you know something you're not letting anyone about.
I don't do the hunting, but
There.
You don't seem to do much of anything, Mayor.
I think you're a very rude man.
Yes, well, I think that you, sir, are adorable.
What I know is the hunters that we do have go in and hunt boar, occasionally deer if they can find it, but mostly boar. They don't venture far, and they don't do it often.
Have you had any casualties whilst hunting, Mayor?
Very rare.
Boar can be quite tenacious and grow to monstrous stature.
That's true, but the people are used to hunting them. They have the technique down. It's very unusual that anyone would even become injured in such a hunt.
Dogs are commonly used to hunt boar, Mayor. Do you by chance employ such methods? It could prove useful.
We have hands.
Presumably tracking hounds.
Some.
Perhaps if you could lend us one of these mongrels and some articles of clothing, we could use this to track down your runaways.
You'd have to speak to the kennel master about that.
Yes, well, let's be on then. To the kennel master. And I'm going to start walking in what I presume is the direction to the kennel master.
How are you presuming this?
I just smell.
Okay, just give me a flat d20 roll to see how likely it is.
I got a 5.
All right. So you turn around, you start walking in a direction, and the mayor taps you on the shoulder. He says, "This way."
Yes, of course it is.
I'm sure you were testing me. Yes.
Precisely. You passed this time.
All right. So you guys wander over to the kennel master. It's just a couple of kennels. There's a couple of large dogs and quite a few smaller dogs that are tracking hands. Guy is chopping up some meat as you approach, and he sees you approach, and he wipes his hands on his apron. Yeah.
Good sir, we require the use of one of your hounds.
No. Who the hell are you?
Professor Yuri von Altschul. You probably haven't heard of me being in such a backwoods place.
Professor.
Mayor, speak to the man on our behalf, if you would.
The mayor is just standing there with a shit-eating grin.
Oh, if you want your children returned, I suggest you not dawdle.
Kennel Master says, and are you trained to use these hands? Is this a skill that you have?
Of course. Such menial beasts are not a challenge to my mental acuity.
Oh, excellent. Okay. He hands you a leash. Go ahead and get them.
Excellent. I'm looking at the leash. It looks as though the clipper end is probably the one that I need, so I'm going to grab that. And what's their pit look like? Is it all nasty?
It's nasty, yeah.
I look down at my immaculately shined shoes. I'm going to hand the leash over to Ridley. Perhaps this is more your speed.
Really just shoves his hands into his pockets and just rocks back and forth. Well, Professor, I don't have the mental acuity that you seem to have, and, you know...
Or the vernacular.
All that. Exactly. You need vernacular to handle these dogs. I don't happen to have that
Yes, well,
particular vernacular.
Yes, as helpful as ever, Ridley.
I'm going in.
I do try. I do try.
As these two are just talking about it, I'm just gonna hop into the pit.
You may need the leather containing apparatus.
He just kind of brushes him off as he's talking.
So the dogs go ballistic. Not aggressive, but they jump all over you. Excited to see you.
Yeah.
Jump all over you. The two big guys pretty much knock you onto your ass into the muck. But they're affectionate rather than aggressive.
Yeah.
I rock back on my heels, by the way, appalled at this.
And I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna try to stay standing and just alpha mode these dogs and just kind of grab them, hold them down, sit.
Okay, can you give me an animal handling check?
Okay. 19.
Okay. Yeah, so you managed to kind of grab them by the scruff of the neck and kind of push a little bit, and they kind of sit and look now, a little bit confused as to what's going on.
And once they actually begin sitting, I'm going to start petting them just a little bit, not trying to get them too riled up, but just acknowledge that they're being good. And I'm going to reach out for the leash with the other hand.
Looks like you've been showing up, Professor.
I don't think so. I told the man that I could handle it, and it has been handled.
But not by you, Yuri. Now give me the leash.
By who it was handled, sir, as I hand the leash, is irrelevant. The fact is I made the task happen.
I'm just gonna start trying to put the leash on one of them.
Yeah, okay. You can leash up one of the big ones, and you can take them out. Master says you can take one.
One is more than enough. I honestly find this unnecessary, but if it'll help Yuri sleep at night in the deep, dark woods. Now let's get a move on.
You don't think Yuri's gonna... He's not gonna... Ugh.
Yeah, we're wasting your time already. Come on.
Yeah, while these guys would have been gone to collect this dog, Ostomer would have went into the small house that the place where Denisol had found out where the boy had went missing, and orchestrated getting some piece of clothing that the young lad would have had left behind.
Okay.
So some piece of, some garment or something, and just grab it and meet them back at the path, waiting for them to return.
All right, no worries. So you guys make your way towards the woods.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you got
I'll
this.
I'll have a lantern. I'll be somewhere near the back.
Okay. You get this hound. Brutus is his name. Big fella, but seemingly very affectionate. And you head towards the woods. So it's raining. It's always raining in fucking Bloodgravia. Seems to be raining constantly. But pretty much immediately after you get into the woods, the canopy is so thick that you don't really notice it down here. Um, it is already evening, so it's dark, and it gets much darker once you enter the woods themselves. Total blockage from the sky. So, for yeah, go ahead.
I do have dark vision up to 120 feet.
Okay, that's really useful. Um, so you're moving through the woods. The dog has smelled the piece of clothing that you have and is moving you in a direction. Um, what kind of order are you walking in?
Well, I assume leading the dog, I'd be in the front.
Always the back. Need to keep downwind of the stench.
I'd probably be in the back with the professor, complaining on how are we tracking. Obviously, they all went and left together to form a brand new family in a better place, away from these assholes over here. Got us tracking in the night.
Okay, I'll be somewhere in the middle then.
I'll be just behind the dog master with a hooded lantern open, just shedding light within an 8-foot radius, just not to stumble over trees.
All right, no problem. So you're finding the evidence of the tracks pretty easily. It's clear that they made no attempt to actually hide their progress or where they were walking. So if they were taken, it seems that they were taken with a lot of good mood. Doesn't seem to be any sort of struggle or anything. You can see by the tracks that the men seem to have been wearing boots, but the kids are barefoot. So the forest just goes on and on and on, and the deeper you get, the weirder the noises get, which is kind of striking. You hear all the normal forest noises, birds and animals, and you can hear water running and such, but then occasionally you hear kind of stranger sounds. Most notably, you hear this kind of like a howl, but much higher pitched, sort of like a keening wail or something like that. Very, very loud, but you can't really tell what direction it's coming from. You hear it once, then as you keep walking, you hear it again, like an answer almost, or maybe it's an echo of the first one, and it's intermittent, but you do hear it.
A howl. It doesn't perhaps sound like a coyote or some breed of wild dog.
Yeah, with the sound of this in the distance, I'm also keeping an eye on the dogs that are immediately, or the dog Brutus that's immediately in front of me, and just seeing how he reacts to these sounds as well.
Yeah, and is there any way I could attempt to identify this noise? I'm from the area.
Yeah, you could try it.
Okay, would that be nature?
Nature, yeah.
Okay. I've rolled a 20, that's 16, and now a 17. So I'm at 19 total.
Okay. It's not familiar to you. You think if it's a creature you've seen before or heard before, you'd recognize it, but it's not something you recognize.
Mm.
The dog definitely seems uncomfortable every time the noise happens, like his ears go back, his tail goes down.
The beast is scared.
Yeah, and I don't know this sound. This is something I haven't encountered before.
And the sound, is it coming from the same location, or you said there's like a back and forth, right?
It's actually very hard to tell because the growth is so thick. It's hard to tell where it's coming from, which direction, and whether it could be a reply, it could be an echo, it could be any number of things.
Right.
I
Has
say
the
we
dog-
keep going.
Has the dog stopped at this point, or is he still trying to, carry on in the same direction that it was before these sounds?
He's still moving.
Okay, continue then. Is he moving towards one of the sounds? Again, I know you said it kind of came from everywhere, but there had to be an initial area where the noise came from.
It doesn't seem he doesn't seem to be going that direction. Um, so continuing on for some more time, you walk for over an hour, and eventually then the dog stops and begins a sort of low growl, and you can see up ahead light, as in from a torch or a fire.
During the long walk, up until the dog began to growl, Smythe is constantly trying to play like red hands with the professor.
Yes, well, this has been quite the experience, my great poke friend.
Delightful walk in the woods. And with that, Officer shuts the shutters on the lantern, bringing darkness to the area. We should get the element of surprise. And with that, I start walking towards them, trying to dart between the trees as stealthily as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Hand them the hilt of my rapier.
And I'd hold the leash out to whoever I can, and kind of as quietly as possible, just I can also scout ahead. Yes.
Anyone?
Anyone want Brutus? Anybody want Brutus?
Without not taking a leash at all, like Smythe just puts his hand on his rapier and starts ducking down into just wherever he's at, not even quite hiding yet, but tentatively ducking. He's like, wait. Is something really about to happen? I thought. Oh, shit.
I'll continue to walk along towards the light, using my parasol to part these unsavory brushes and thorns out of the way.
Professor, do you still need the light, or shall I shoot to this one too?
No, I'm quite fine, Sylvester. There's a light up ahead. I'll simply walk towards that, as we should all be doing.
Okay. I'll close the lantern and move ahead, slightly off to the left.
So, Dennis, are you going to scout ahead with me? Just quickly run ahead, stealthily through the woods?
Yeah, I've got the dog, but if no one's going to take him, I'm going to try. I'm still going to try.
Yeah, okay.
I'm definitely not going to be with the dog and Dennis, then I'll be flanking in a different direction.
Yeah, I think I just kind of like curl the leash around my arm and hold him by the nape of the neck and like crouch and move forward quietly, keeping him next to me.
Yeah, he picks up on what you're doing. He's a hunting dog, he knows, so he's pretty quiet. You approach and you can see a clearing up ahead. There's a large stone, like a pillar almost, jutting out of the clearing, and chained to it are 6 people, and also chained to it are 4 dogs, large hounds, not chained, actually leashed to it. The people seem to be okay. They don't seem to be injured or anything like that, but they're definitely chained up. And the dogs all seem to be looking in their direction, but as you get a little bit closer, they start to smell the air.
Ooh. I can't do anything about that. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that everybody else, being more normal than I am, can't see anything farther than that. But with the dark vision that I have, I want to make sure everybody can see that. I want to make sure that the flanks are okay.
Okay, sure. Give me a perception check, please.
Okay. Yeah, this one's gonna be bad. I feel it. Ah, there we go. A 1.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the torches or something. It's interfering with your dark vision. You're having a tough time kind of seeing around the place.
Okay.
And I'm just hiding in the brush on the other side, just watching from afar. Not making any approaches forward. I'm just scanning to see if there's any other humans or anything.
Doesn't seem to be any other people there beyond the people who are chained to the rock.
I'm just rolling up there.
You're just going to walk straight out?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you walk out. The dogs lock eyes upon you, and then turn and begin to maul the people chained to the rock.
I'm gonna immediately. They're like chewing on them. Is
Yeah.
that what you mean? Yeah.
One of them has leapt upon one of the small boys and is currently ripping at a throat. One of the men is being attacked, trying to hold one of them off. The old woman is immediately dead, and the other man is also trying to fight the dog.
I would have immediately shot a bolt at one of these crazed mutts.
Cool.
I'll try
let's
to
do
beat
initiative.
one down with my cane or my parasol.
Okay. Let's do initiative, and we can keep some order here.
What's going on over there? As Smythe hasn't moved yet. I don't know.
All right.
You can see
I
what's
got
going
a -1.
-1. All right.
on. 13.
13.
16 for Wilson.
Okay. And it was a 12 for Ostermere as well. Okay, Wilson, you're up. Basically, the professor walks out into the clearing, and as soon as he does so, the dogs see him, and then clearly have been informed that if anyone comes here to attack the prisoners, and they just turn immediately. One of the dogs savages one of the little boys. Two of the dogs begin to fight the men, trying to bite them, definitely doing damage, and the men are having trouble defending themselves, and then the old woman has been savaged as well.
Okay.
So Wilson will draw out his billy club and rush forward, try and brain one of these dogs.
Okay, yep, go ahead.
Stop it, you bloody mutt! And that was like a 24.
That's gonna definitely hit.
Okay, damage-wise, ain't too cracking though. Okay, so we're looking at 4 points.
Okay. It's still pretty significant against what is basically just a dog. So you run over, you smash this thing. It falls onto the ground and whimpers, now kind of terrified. Which of the dogs did you go for? There was 4.
The one on leftmost.
Okay. Okay. So after Wilson, it is Smythe.
So does anybody is everybody just running up?
I am not. I've stayed in the brush.
Because I don't know if Smythe actually sees what's going on from where he's at. He just sort of started dipping down, like what's going? Is something really happening? And he's looking around, looking for anybody near him. He's like, what? And he just like slinks from where he's at, like crab walks into the nearest brush, trying to hide and figure out exactly what's going on.
Okay, no problem. I think you probably, once you get a little bit closer, you would have heard the noise of growling dogs and of screaming people, but probably only as you approach a little bit closer. So then, either Deniso or Ostermere, I don't know which. Usually, it's just whoever has the highest dex.
I have 16.
15, so it's you.
Okay.
All right, so you see Ostermer from the brush. He's kind of, even with his tall frame, he's ducked down, and all you see is like the brim and top of his hat sticking up behind this bush. And he's yelling to Wilson. He's like, "Don't let that beast up, boy. Don't let it up." So basically, I'm using a directing strike. You get to use your reaction to do a strike upon the dog right now, Wilson. And when you do so, you get to do a +2 to your attack roll.
Right, okay then, so swinging back round, he smikes.
Put it on his back, boy. Put it on his back.
Okay, just comes in from the other side, thunk. And that would be a 15.
Yep.
Double tap. Oh yeah, so there's another 5 points.
Yeah, so this time the hit is much more significant. Cracks the skull of the dog, and it falls limp to the ground. So you had been attacking the one that had been on the little boy. The boy is badly mauled, but seemingly alive.
But if he's still crying, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
At least he's alive.
It's more of a gurgle, but yeah. Right, then let's go to Denisaw.
Okay. I'm actually just gonna Eldritch Blast one of the dogs that's attacking the man. Oh. Okay. 20 total.
Yep.
For 13.
Okay. Yeah, you obliterate the dog. Go ahead and describe it.
Woo! Alright, so he sees this man being attacked and still holding Brutus. Yeah, Brutus is awesome. Still holding Brutus. In the other hand, he forms this sphere, and it's cold, but it's like a red liquid-looking thing, almost blood, but brighter. And he reaches out his hands and blasts the dog just straight through the back of its neck, and that's the dead dog.
Yeah, it crumples just immediately onto the ground. No longer a problem. The dogs will go next. So one of them is going to finish off the old lady, and the other one is going to try and attack this man. Yeah. Oh, it's bad. All right, so the dog leaps up and tears at the man's throat. In some sort of incredibly acrobatic little maneuver, it leaps up into the air, grabs the throat, lands down, and the man just spills blood all over the ground. Professor.
Yes, I'll bring one arm behind my back and bring my parasol up and look at the dog. So I'll have you know I was the collegiate fencing champ in Camden, and step forward and thrust with it.
Okay.
That's a 1.
Okay. It's a parasol?
Yes.
Like a thin wooden stick umbrella?
Yeah, an umbrella, yeah.
All right. All right, so you go to jab it at the dog, and it just bends, snaps at the end.
Well, it's not a natural one. It's a 2 minus 1. So it makes it a 1.
Okay. All right. Well, it's ineffective anyway. Trying to use a parasol as a weapon, probably a bad call. Wilson, you're up again.
Okay, beyond by this success that we seem to be having against dogs, I shall go and see if I can down the one that's got his jaws around the throat of the man. It should be easier to hit then. So I'll just same again, swinging the club round. Bit quick. 1, 2. Cool, that's 11. So
I actually think it might hit.
Yeah,
no, not quite. You kind of graze it. You hit a bunch of fur. You slap it in the tail, but don't actually connect.
Okay, so I was looking at one of the abilities. It says you get a bonus action to attack with your bonus action.
Okay, go ahead.
So I guess you have a normal and then a bonus one. Which, there we go. See if I can get in with this one then. So backhand it on the way back. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
Crunch and 4 points.
Okay.
Much of the same.
So you miss the first, but you slap it in the mouth on the way back around, and it slaps to the ground.
For that.
My
bastard.
Finally, finding out what has been going on, these these dogs attacking the people that we're supposed to be finding, realizing that they didn't just run off to be in a happy little home together. Smythe is pulling his, he doesn't draw his rapier, but instead readies his short bow, pulls back the arrow, and just takes aim at one of these dogs and looses the arrow. If the dice would stay on the table. 19.
Oh yeah, that's it.
No, 19. All right. So 14 points of damage.
Yeah, obliterates the dog. Goes right through the eye. Comes out the other side.
So he just. And then just uses his bonus action to slink back into the bushes.
Sounds good. Ostermere.
Alright, so you see Alcimer leave the bush at this point, and he's coming through the clearing into the opening, and he looks like a man on stilts, this tall, skinny guy, walking through gracefully. I'm going to go initially for one of the dogs, and then I hear the whimpering of the small boy that had been attacked initially when we first approached. I do a double take back at the dog and then back to the boy, and then I approach the boy. And he's still chained and or tied to the post, correct?
Chained, yeah.
Alright, so it's going to be impossible for me to cut through the chain. So I reach down to the boy, put my hand over the gaping wound from the dog bite, and I say, "You will not die here, son." And with that, I'm going to do Inspiring Words, which heals him 4 hit points. So I'm going to bring him back from the brink of death, basically.
Yep.
So I'm at this point, I'm knelt over, back exposed, assisting this young lad.
Okay, perfect. And that's all.
So the one that's alive is the one. Which?
Wilson basically slapped one, and it's almost dead, but it's kind of whimpering on the ground.
All right, I'm gonna steal his kill if I can. Let's go. 19.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Okay. 4, 8.
Okay, yeah. So you finish it off. It's kind of on the ground and whimpering, trying to crawl away from Wilson, and you just blast it as it's trying to get away. So there's a kind of a quiet gurgling from some of the remaining dogs and people who are dying, and then the people who aren't dead or dying are now screaming for help.
I'm trying to calm the young boy, obviously, the one that's in my hands, telling him it's going to be okay and that we'll get him home safely. I'm just trying to get him to be quiet, because in essence I want him to tell me why the fuck he's in the woods. So I need him to be calm to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though looking at my gaunt, scary, pale, pasty face in the light that's coming from the campground here is probably pretty spooky for this young lad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's terrified. The remaining man who's not dead says, "Tyus, you need to get back to the village. There's no time."
No time for what?
You have to get back to town. The man, he said he lured you away so that they could strike at the town. Fuck.
Yeah. They're chained, correct?
They're chained, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do anything about that, but I'm going to turn and start heading back to the town, and I'll see if I'll ask the others as I'm going, be like, "Can you do anything about their chains?" I'm going to check on up ahead.
I'm with you.
I'm definitely assisting this boy, so I'm going to take out the bolt or whatever is that's got this chain attached to this thing. I'll go to work immediately.
Yeah. Okay. What the rest of you are running back?
Yep.
Or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I think if the majority of everyone's running back, Smythe would be following suit.
Okay, so you guys are sprinting back to town. Troy, if you spend a couple of minutes in the campsite looking around, you'll actually find laid out neatly on a table, covered by a little bit of shelter, is a key that will unlock the chains, and a note that says "Gotcha."
I collect that note. Someone's going to eat that later.
Yeah, the rest of you are sprinting back, and you can hear the kind of wail every now and then, and it gets louder as you approach the town. You're going to be running for quite a while here, but I'll just have you make one Constitution check in terms of how knackered you're going to be by sprinting for what'll amount to about 40 minutes, or running for about 40 minutes.
It was okay.
Hey, but I got athletics, brother. I got athletics. What happened to athletics?
It's a Constitution save rather than a check. Sorry, I should specify.
I got a 15 total.
Okay.
Yeah, you still need high though, don't you?
Yeah.
So 5 doesn't cut it. Yeah.
Okay.
A hunter.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I've got Stitch. Oh, you've got head.
It's basically what it is. You've got one level of exhaustion, which means you have disadvantage on ability checks.
As we're running.
You're safe, Dante.
Okay. Just to prepare myself for what's coming. As we're running, you'll see Denisov actually just reaches out an arm and almost just like smacks at a tree as he's running past it. And as he pulls his hand away, there's a gigantic red bow, like the same color of his Eldritch Blast. And yeah, pulling that out.
Cool. So you run and run and run, and eventually you'll see the glow up ahead of flames. And bursting from the forest, you can see that the town is under siege. People are lying dead everywhere. And even a cursory glance will show you that the kind of apprentice guild members had tried to mount some kind of defense. Their bodies now piled in front of a somewhat larger pile of villagers. Fire is absolutely everywhere, and the rain is causing the smoke to become really thick and acrid. And silhouetted against these flames, you can see creatures walking towards you. They kind of walk with a hunched sort of step. And one of them lets out this wail, very similar to what you had been hearing earlier. Silhouetted, you can't really make out any of the details, but they approach you rather menacingly.
Just finally catching up to Denisov's. Shit!
Yeah, I'm immediately seeing this and seeing everything on fire. I'm gonna hex the first thing that I can.
Yeah,
it's on. It's on.
Nice. Okay. I'll just keep the same initiative as earlier. So it's just quicker to do that. And okay, in that case, then Wilson, you see 4 of these creatures kind of silhouetted in the fire. Some of them are actually looks like eating bodies, and 2 of them are limping or hunching towards you.
Right, okay. Stepping left again. Moving in slowly. Determined. What do they look like when they get closer?
So when you get closer, it's seriously gross. Big, long, distended arms that end in long, too many segmented fingers. Face with like a pushed-up nose, large ears, long canine teeth. Big sort of hump of hair over their shoulders, and they walk with a hunch, like a gorilla almost, in the way that they walk.
Okay, let's see how they like Wilson's fists. So we'll go in feint to the right, swinging a right hook, followed by a left hook, trying in the guts and then in the temple. So 2 attacks.
Okay.
Yep. Well, the first one was 3, but the second, the second one definitely is.
Yeah.
So that would be 5 points to the chin,
okay.
Temple.
No worries. Okay. Yeah. So the first swing you take is a bit of a feint, and it kind of ducks out of the way. But then as it does so, it ducks right into your other fist. Crack. Smythe.
Smythe, this time seeing everything unfold and knowing what's going on, not to be outdone or out brave-hearted by his fellow hunter, actually runs up, pulling his rapier and a short sword out to stab at the creature twice, in an almost like spinning motion before continuing his movement to get some distance away from Wilson and the creature afterwards.
Okay.
A 23 and a 19.
Yes, sir. 2 hits.
So that's the sneak attack. This okay. So that's 3, 6, 7, 8. Plus 5 is 13 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Very nice. And then you run in, and then you keep running.
Yeah, the swashbuckler fancy footwork. So he's running in, he jumps up, pulling the rapier back as if that was going to be the initial attack before taking a quick jab forward with the short sword, landing, and then spinning upwards to stab from beneath with the rapier, and then pulling it out with a spin and continuing his run before like flourishing and trying to act like a badass, going, ah!
How about you? Okay, perfect. Ostermere, you are back at the...
Yeah, I've gotten the boy loose at this point. The man as well. I'm less interested in his well-being. I gathered the boy in my arms if he's a small enough lad that I can carry.
Yeah, he is.
Not particularly strong. I tell him to hold the lantern as we exit the lighted area, and I'm moving at the rapid pace as fast as I can, carrying a boy through woods. And when I'm carrying, I'm asking him, "Tell me, child, what exactly lured you into the woods?"
I don't know. I just woke up here. I don't know. I woke up tied to a rock.
Very odd indeed.
The man behind you grabs the other kids and begins to follow as well.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm just full sprint as fast as I can safely.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, nothing else.
Okay. Denisaw.
The one that I hexed is it by itself or is there another nearby? I have a radius thing that I can
There's one nearby, yeah.
doing it. Alright, so I'm going to shoot the spell Ice Knife at it. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, yeah. That'll be a 7.
Okay, it's going to go wide.
Okay, it still hits in the square. They just have to make a dex save.
Okay.
And they take 2d6. If they succeed, it's half.
And you gave one of them disadvantage on dex, right?
Yeah.
Dex, okay. So he's going to fail that, and the other one is going to fail too.
Awesome. That's 12.
Okay. Okay, yes, then we have the bad guys. So this creature in front of you, Wilson, leaps forward with a big distended jaw and tries to bite on you. So, good. That's going to hit.
Okay.
Doc! Wilson! Doc, damn it!
It's going to be 7 points in the bite. So it bites into your shoulder, and when it has you there, it swings a claw for your face.
Well, can I try one of my special pugilist maneuvers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Beforehand. Alright, it's if I can find it, reread it. It's the okay. Using sweet science. It's cross counter, so I have to spend two moxie, and I get it's like 10, and add certain things, my level and a dex modifier. That's
Make an attack.
It's
Okay.
It's just a straightforward damage reduction thing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's called cross counter. I'm just trying to find the actual page. I've got it written in a character sheet, but not
Okay. Well, no rush anyway.
full.
So it was 7 damage from the bite anyway.
Right. So it says if I manage to negate all that damage, then I get a free attack myself. It's like I was expecting an attack coming in, so he just dodges around and
Gotcha.
gives an elbow or a counter punch. Counter cross, it says. Alright, so let's see. It's D10. So I do. Sorry about this, folks.
Oh, you're fine. No worries, man.
Okay, so that means I get to respond with an attack
Nice.
because I managed to cancel out all its damage. It didn't actually get hold of me. I managed to just palm it away and then poof, try and finish it off with another, or not, as the case may be. So yeah, I took a step back just a bit too far and missed it when I swung back in.
Yeah. So it goes to bite you. You slap it away and go for the swing. You slap it a little bit too far. It's slightly out of your reach, and it then turns around and tries to swing his big meaty fist in your direction.
Okay.
Why is there an 8 there? Okay, it misses anyway. Again, just slightly out of reach. You're kind of both kind of falling around the place a little bit in this sort of brawl. The other creature is going to follow the direction of this bizarre blur that came by and stabbed its companion. It's going to rush over towards Smythe and try and bite him and try and slash him with a claw. Missing both times. Smythe is way too fast, the footwork far too fancy, and it's not able to get a grasp on you. The other two now look up from their meals of dead villagers and turn in your direction. One of them is going to run at Smythe. Ooh, it's going to be 2 hits, unless you got some sort of ability to mitigate it. I'm guessing that's a no. Ooh, fuck. It's gonna be 16 plus 3 plus 3, 19, 22 points of damage. Or 21. So this thing just unleashes. It comes up to you and it slaps a bite onto your shoulder, and as it has you there, it pulls this big fist into your stomach. Bam! The other one will rush up to Wilson and try and slap him around, and misses both times. Wilson's far too slippery and doesn't manage to connect. So then, finally, we get to the professor.
With a shallow breath, he looks around at the chaos unfolding and kind of shakes his head. As well, I suppose it can't be helped, such riffraff. Yes, no. Yes, it's fine. Just you get your time, sir. One moment, please. And he begins to take off his shoes. And as he does that, as the last shoe comes off, he kind of slumps forward on the ground, and his breathing becomes more and more labored. And his frame just begins to grow and pack on muscle upon muscle upon muscle, the sinew bursting out of his outfit. And you can see his skin looks like it's turning gray like ink in water. And within a few heartbeats, it's no longer the professor there, but just this hulking monstrosity. And it stands up and lets out this bellow and charges forward and swings at the closest one using bonus action from the Frenzy Primal Path.
Alrighty, sounds good.
It's 13. It's 13 hit.
It does not, unfortunately. So I guess this thing probably saw you coming, saw the weird transformation happening, and saw you running towards it, and managed to just fucking desperately jump out of the way. Wilson.
Okay, I'll try and finish this one off again. Move back in, give it a left jab, and then a right cross. Try and finish it off. I've had enough of this little thing. Bloody thing.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Both of them. There's just one turn up there. Just an 11.
It's just one dice.
Yeah. Oh, I know why. Oh, and then 20. Oops.
Oh, nice.
That's going to hurt. Alright, so the first two, well, I might as well roll both together then. Alright. And is it doubled for the critical, or is that...
You rolled the dice twice.
Right. Alright, so I got 6, 7 plus 6 is 13.
Okay, that's going to end one of these creatures.
Okay, just cracks its jaw, knocks its few teeth out, and it just falls to its knees and just falls on its face in front of me. I'll spit on it.
Yes, excellent. Fucking thing, bastards. Smythe. You're muted.
Muted? Yeah, okay. I'm not muted anymore, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Is there? I never get used to that damn mute button. It's so sensitive. Yeah, being rocked one way and then the other by these claws. Smythe is like, ah! And he unleashes another quick 2 stabs with his blades. A 24 and an 8.
Okay, 24 hits.
So, yeah. 8's probably not gonna hit.
No, sir.
But he manages to deal 10, 16, 19 points of piercing damage.
Oh, shit. That's going to kill it.
So Smythe, he tries to go in for the feinted short sword attack again, and as the creature dodges the short sword attack, it just sets him up perfectly to be stabbed with the rapier, and he buries the rapier deep into him. And Smythe, being as haggard and beat up as he is, damn near coughing up blood, is just like puts his foot to the creature, pulling out his rapier, tumbling backwards, and just running in the opposite direction, not even realizing that the creature is on its way down to the ground, screaming out, those who fighting, you know the rest. And he does his 30-foot movement and then takes the bonus action to dash yet another 30 feet.
Getting the heck out of Dodge. Very good. Ostermere.
Yeah, I'm just, again, well behind the fight. I'm just carrying on with the boy. Again, I would have been questioning him about if they had seen any humans or any people in that clearing, or if was it just waking up to the dogs.
Yeah, the boy will say, yeah, there was a man. He was really tall, and he had a suit on, and he told us he was going to burn the village, and he's leading all the hunters away so he could wreck the place.
And I asked the man that was behind us if he knew anything about the clearing, if that was a permanent situation, or was that just something that was built for the purpose of this?
Yeah, he says it's kind of.
If he recognized the man as well.
He doesn't recognize the man, but he said that the clearing is a place that they would often set as a meeting point if people go out ranging or whatever. They would come back there and meet and then walk back together. But the man, definitely mysterious to him.
Okay, no connection to the space. All right, so I'll just use my full, movement to move towards the town.
For the sake of expediency, you'll get there next round because it's boring for you to just walk all the time.
It's all good.
Denethor.
Okay, so having just done that icy blast, he's going to pull up as far distance between him and them as he can, and he's going to take aim with his bow, and you see he's not even reaching for an arrow, but as he pulls back on the string, some of that red liquid kind of oozes out and becomes the arrow, and that's what he is firing. It is the Eldritch Blast.
Okay, perfect.
16?
Yep.
Awesome. And I'm shooting at the one that I had hexed, so that was one of the two that was near each other, so, even if I have to use the bonus action, I'll move it to the one that's still alive.
Okay, sure.
My man Smithy just ran away from.
Yeah.
So that'll be 13.
Okay, nice. Okay. So then the bad guys. Okay, so this one that you've just hit with an arrow looks around, sees that Smythe is gone, sees the nearest living creature to be Wilson, and rushes over to try and hit him. Ooh, and trips on the way, but manages to pull itself back up. It's going to manage to just about swipe at your ankle, but I'm going to lower the damage dice by 1 for that. Oh, well, it rolls really well. 8 points, Wilson, as it slashes at your ankle, even though it falls into the dirt, knocking itself prone.
Thank you, creature.
The other one that's also on you will continue to do so. Thinking it's going to hit twice. What's your AC, Wilson?
13.
Okay, yeah, then it's going to hit twice. Oh, it rolls low. Okay, 6 and 5, 11 points of damage this time. So this one, again, dashes in. It's this classic combo. They try and bite and they slash. Whatever they have to do to get a slash in. Okay, so then it's the professor.
So the two that are on Wilson, the one's knocked prone. I'm going to thunder over there and begin to rain down hammer fist on this thing from just my massive 8-foot, 1,000-pound frame that is now here in place of the professor. Since it's prone, I have advantage on the attack. Yes.
Yep.
All right, so we'll roll this. That's for the first attack. Is it 14 hit?
It does not, barely.
Alright. And the second attack. I believe it's 19.
That's going to hit.
Alright. So we do 8 points of damage.
Okay. That'll crush the one that is prone to death.
Oh, it kills it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you just see him raining down this hammer fist after hammer fist until this thing's just a pulp, and just throw his arms back and bellow, "Grindel, crush puny creature!"
Wilson. Just one left.
Okay. It's the one that was facing me again?
Yeah.
Oh. What I'm going to do for this one then, I'll give it a palm strike in the face and then grab hold of the back of its head and smash its face down into my knee. So, 2 attacks. Ooh, 20 and then
Nice.
natural 20 and then that 13 which misses. Okay. Alright, so 2d4. Plus 3, so 7.
Okay, nice.
8 points. So quick smack in the face and then boom, get in there.
Yeah, you pull its head towards your knee. Crunch. That weird kind of upturned nose that it has, kind of you hear a crack of cartilage, and then it's Smythe.
Smythe, he continues his escape, banking to the left and diving into the nearest bush or brush he can, hiding before switching weapons. That's all he's gonna.
Okay, sure. Ostermere, you arrive now on the scene, a little bit breathless, but you arrive carrying the boy, and you see, as I described earlier, a scene of absolute chaos, fire everywhere in the village, and bodies piled high, and you see this one remaining weird creature seemingly engaged in mortal combat with Wilson, and you also see some huge, terrifying, grey-skinned thing smashing the body of one of these creatures.
Right, seeing that it's attacking the foe that my other companions are fighting, I focus on the other, but I put the boy down, I look to the man, and I tell him to make sure that the boy is safe, if not he'll be swallowing this 40 inches. And with that, I pull out the silvered rapier and I run towards the one remaining creature. And I'm going to lash out with a forward thrust with the rapier, and then follow up with a slash with the short sword in my offhand.
Very nice.
And that is a 16 and a 14.
Okay, 16 hits.
Actually, no, it was +2 to each of those, so 18 and 16.
Okay, 2 hits.
Forgot the proficiency. So that will be more damage here. D8 and D6. That's 18 points of piercing and slashing damage.
18, nice. Okay, you absolutely murder it.
Alright, so you see me come into the scene after being God knows where. You probably haven't even realized where I was at this point. So I just come running into the opening of the township, and from this creature from behind, I just stick the rapier through, and as it turns around, I do a horizontal slash across his throat, opening it up. And then I turn back and start walking back towards I came, which is back towards the boy.
I'm going to have to get myself a sword.
So you're kind of standing in the center of the town, like near where the statue was. They had this statue in the center of town of a guy drawing a bow, but there's no head on the statue. And if you can imagine, the statue is in the center. Right in front, if you're looking this way, on top of a cliff is the castle. Underneath the castle is the town hall, large stone building, and then there's wooden buildings all around. And on top of the large stone building, you see a cloud of bats solidify into a man. He says, "Ah," and his voice carries effortlessly through the rain and the fire. "So you've dispatched my children, it seems. That's a shame. Though I suppose they weren't of the blood. Look, honestly, I hope you get the message. There's no need for you all to die here. Your presence in these lands will not be tolerated. There is an older law here, one that has stood for millennia beyond your primitive understanding. You are not welcome here, and you will not stay here."
About how far is this?
From where you are, I mean, well within longbow range, anyway.
Can I pick something up and just hurl it at this guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him.
Sure, you definitely can. Yeah.
I got advantage on strength checks right now, so.
Okay. I mean, the closest thing to you would be a body.
Yeah, I'll palm one of those little monsters or whatever and just chuck it at him.
Okay,
Nice.
sure.
And I'm shooting.
Go ahead.
What the hell is this, Lloyd? Is this just a strength check or?
Yeah, let's just call it a strength check.
Okay.
17?
I'm gonna take the 14. So that'd be 17 as well.
Okay. So your arrow of eldritch energy whiz, and you just see him kind of watch it go by, and the body splats into the kind of corner of the roof right next to him, but doesn't quite connect. Now. I said there's no need for you all to die here. If you approach me, you will all die. I leave you here to spread the message to the others of your order. They'll return from their hunts and whatever, and you'll tell them what transpired here. I expect you'll be gone by the end of the week.
I'm gonna take a minute.
Critical smash back, man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a minute to just kind of look at the others, that eye contact moment.
You just see Smythe like leaning on a tree, haphazardly hidden, his hand on his side. He's bleeding out. Looks pale. He's just staring at his feet, with his short bow by his side, his quiver with several arrows spilling out of it, staring intently at his feet, just mumbling over and over, "Wiggle your big toe."
Yeah, well, Wilson reaches down, scoops up his hat, puts his hat back on, folds his arms. I ain't going anywhere.
Yes, so tedious. Well, if you intend on staying, it will not be easy for you. This is bloodshed is so unnecessary. You come to here to civilize these lands. They are civil. They are ruled by an old law, an ancient law, something you wouldn't understand. My law. I would suggest that you pick up your pride or whatever it is keeping you here, and you throw it away. Think about your lives.
I throw another body at him. Fuck this guy. That was a 19.
All right. Yeah, that connects. Funk. I see you cannot be reasoned with. You'll see me again. Cloud of bats.
I let out a victorious roar. Batman scared of Grundle!
Just because I just want to shoot a bat. Just one bat.
Sure,
I need like my thing. This is for me.
Yeah, I'll say, I mean, with your skill as an archer, it's no problem. You can pick off a bat without any issue. One of them just kind of spins down to the ground. Yeah, so I think that's where we'll leave it. The destruction of a village that you guys were protecting, the introduction of a weird bat lord, and the ritualistic murder of children. So that's a good session to start with, I guess. So thanks everybody for playing. Channel shoutouts: we have Craft Runners Adventures, DMT Tabletop Gaming, Clockwork Owl Games, Whitey, and Infinite Roleplay. This is Joe again. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.